I get settled down at my brother's house, and after about a week or so, I said, Jack, is there any place to drink around here? The bar or nightclub? I said, I'm bored. He said, well, yeah, why don't you just drive over to Excelsior Boulevard? And there's a ton of bars over there. So I go over to Excelsior Boulevard, and I'm driving down Excelsior, and I see this bar, George's in the Park. And they had like two parking lots just packed.
Wow.
So I pulled in there, and I thought, oh, this looks like a fun place. So I go in, and there's this blonde haired guy working the door, bouncer. And I asked him, I said, hey, you have a cigarette machine around here? And he says, yeah, it's right over there. And he keeps looking at me, looking at me. And so I go over there, pull two quarters out, pack of cigarettes back then, 50 cents.
Yeah.
Now, I think it's $10.50 now.
Yeah.
I don't smoke anymore, so
Yeah.
I haven't for years and years. But anyway, uh, I go over there, pull the plug on the cigarette machine, and here's this guy standing right next to me. I look up. I said, yeah. And he says, aren't you Ken Patera? I said, yeah. He said, what are you doing in George's in the Park? I said, well, my brother told me this would be a good place to come and have a few beers. He says, yeah. He says, I saw you on TV last week on the Wild World of Sports. I said, yeah, that was the World Weightlifting Championships. And he said, well, what are you doing in here? I said, well, I needed a beer. I said, it looked as good as any place else. He said, yeah, it's a fun place. So he goes back to his chair by the front door, and I'm kind of casing the place out. So there was a bar in the back called the Red Dog Saloon. And then they had a dinner theater up front. Everybody's all dressed up and everything. I said, I don't want to sit up there. And then the Red Dog Saloon was considered a working man's bar. Everybody in there put on their boots and everything. And so anyway, about 12 o'clock, the bouncer comes back and says, you mind if I sit down with you? And I said, no, go ahead. Well, it turned out to be Ric Flair.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. And I asked him his name, Ric Flair. I says, how long have you been bouncing here? It's about a year and a half now. And I says, well, yeah, sit down, I'll buy you a beer. No, I'll buy you one. I think beers were 25 cents. Yeah, 25 cents then. A regular drink with whiskey was 35 cents. And so we sat there and got half hooped up. And